Hi there, I'm Jocelyn. I'm a mid-20s white woman with medium-length brown hair, and I'm wearing a white shirt. I would like to begin by thanking my co-authors and the Nova Scotia Department of Communities, Culture, Tourism, and Heritage for their generosity funding our project titled Accommodations and Accessibility within Nova Scotian Small Businesses. As I begin, I want to acknowledge that I am a settler benefiting from Mi'kmaq, the ancestral and unceded land of the Mi'kmaq and Wolastoqiyik people. I am thankful for the elders, ancestors, and the next generation for sharing their land and acting as traditional custodians of it. In Canada, 98% of businesses employ between 1 and 99 people, classifying them as small. Despite their size, these organizations employ 2/3 of the private labor force. Small businesses differ from the rest of the market, so managing them can come with unique challenges. As a result, the leadership strategies differ from both medium and large organizations. Due to limited resources, small business owners tend to be wary of risks. Unfortunately, many misconceptions exist surrounding the employment of people with disabilities and accommodations at work, despite research dismissing them. Though small business owners are required to comply with accessibility legislations, the misbeliefs may limit their willingness or confidence in hiring and accommodating people with disabilities. The goal of our project is to understand management and accommodation techniques adopted by small business managers who have successfully accommodated people with functional limitations or disabilities. Specifically, we interviewed 9 managers working in multiple industries representing both urban and rural locations in Nova Scotia who have received public recognition for their work. The employees accommodated typically worked in lower wage jobs. Their limitations varied, but included things like physical demands of the work, chronic pain, memory or other cognitive issues, and social interactions. When discussing employee factors, the managers primarily mentioned positives. There were some things, however, such as the pace and the environment, that did not work for employees. For one manager in the food service industry, this was accommodated by changing the job tasks in the employee's schedule to better suit their skills. Another manager in the dry cleaning business didn't care about pace. This manager said, "The employee do the task. Slower, faster is not relevant. The reality is that you've done the task." Another common topic was training. Our discussions imply that managers found no meaningful difference between training people with or without disabilities. Multiple managers did stress, however, that good training sets a foundation for all employees. As this manager in the service industry stated, "No matter who you hire, a new person or not, experienced or not, you have to go through a training process." The question for me would be, what's your time worth? And if you have somebody there that you know will do everything in their power to get to work on time and do a great job every day, why wouldn't you want to accommodate? The narrative around closeness and being a family is common in the small business literature. A restaurant manager said, "Everyone here is family and they're just good people." Another said, "She's been here for 11 years now, and we know her family, we know her whole history. People in the restaurant and the customers always look forward to coming to see her when she's working." On top of accommodating people with disabilities, the managers showed a willingness to accommodate all employees. One service manager said, "My employee only had a small window of time that she could work. She has to get the kids to school and then she's got to go back and pick them up. We had admin work that it didn't matter what time of day you did it, but we just needed it done. So she came in at 10 and left at 1. The managers we spoke to were happy to invest in employees with disabilities or limitations. As this manager said, "You invest in your business, you invest in your people. If you make the right investments, you're going to have dividends in the end, right?" The participants recognized that they are not just legally responsible for managing accommodations, but there's also a value associated with doing it. A farming manager stated, "I think the key there would be to really analyze the concept of undue hardship and also to analyze the cost-benefit relationship. I see tremendous benefits from the accommodations that we've had for our employees in the business culture and attitude of all of our other employees." Finally, the managers interviewed discussed trying to empower their employees in all areas of their work, including accommodations. This manager said, "You don't necessarily have to invest the time and be like, 'Oh man, how do I accommodate them?' Just ask them, 'Okay, what do you need?' And they'll know the company, they know what works for them, and it's trusting them." We want to thank these managers for sharing with us how they successfully manage accommodations in their small business. As small businesses create jobs and help our economy grow, they could be a great resource for meeting our goals for accessible and equitable employment in Canada. As one manager said, the goals of small businesses are to grow revenue, improve processes, and make people happy. Thank you.